things get better when you get better. You don't expect things to get better. You want to demand more from life, and you're not demanding more from yourself. You want to demand more from life, demand more of yourself. And also it's important to know that your dreams are not cheap. They have a price to pay for. And so you have to be willing to pay the price, really. So in paying the price, there are so many things that happen. There are people that you leave behind. There are things that you leave behind because, they drag you down. Yes. And we need to be willing to do that. We need to be willing to make hard decisions, make hard decisions, hurtful decisions for you to be able to focus and go for the thing that you want.
Hi, I am Wambui, a corporate girl who also has multiple passions. When I'm not at my 9-to-5, I spend time focusing on growing my small side business that I love. I created From Stack to Unstoppable podcast to give you simple, actionable strategies to help you get unstuck from limiting beliefs and find your purpose. If you're a professional, a 9-to-5er, or an aspiring entrepreneur, and are looking to get out of your comfort zone, use your God-given talents and passion, you, my friend, are in the right place. Let's get started. Welcome to another episode of From Stack to Unstoppable podcast. I am your host, Wambui. So today I have a very special guest. Her name is Sarah Munyi. Sarah is a life coach, a leadership consultant, and an international speaker. In this episode, Sarah talks about her journey to being one of the most recognized coaches and speakers in Kenya. She knew early on that she had something great in her and that her life was not destined for mediocrity. She was very certain that it was the voice of God speaking to her, telling her that she had been bestowed with greatness. She believes that things get better when you get better, and that it's up to us to demand more of ourselves. Now fast forward to today, and you will see the business that she has built, one that changes the lives of not only leaders at the C-suite, but the youth all over Africa and beyond. We have a lot to cover, so let's jump in. Hi there, Sarah. Thank you so much.
Hi.
For being on the show.
Hi, Wambui. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So please tell me, when people ask, tell me a little bit about yourself. What do you tell them?
Oh my God, I love that question. So Sarah, first of all, is a sister and a friend. I mean, I'm so many things, but I want you to first of all know me as a sister and a friend. Yes. Because a sister, I think, is somebody who you can, is somebody who cares, Right. A sister is somebody who cares. A friend is somebody who cares. So before I speak of any other thing, just look at me as your sister and as a friend.
And I have seen that, because since I got to know you, you've really become like a sister and a friend to me. You are not like a friend and a sister. You're very responsive. You get back to someone. I'm just amazed. So I believe that.
Thank you. And Sarah is a life coach. Sarah is a leader, is a transformational leader, is a servant leader. Sarah is an author. Sarah is a mountaineer. So I think I did so many things. Yes. But I'm basically in the capacity building area, and I help people to be able to discover their purpose, discover their abilities, and be able to exploit them and bring them out, so that they can be able to impact their lives and even the communities around them. So that's basically what I do, basically helping people get the best in them and be able to make a positive impact with that. So basically that's what I do.
And you're doing a very good job with that. Now, how has your journey been like? What led you to that? What led you to wanting to empower people? Because you're very good at that.
Yes, because for me, I lived myself, in employment for quite a while, and I was feeling there's something in me that is not mediocre, it is not average, it is great, it is huge, it is big, and I don't know how to describe it, and I don't know how to put a finger on it, and I don't know how to get it out. And many people live like that, one boy, you are more brilliant than people think, but you don't know how to bring out that brilliance. And so you end up just subscribing to the status quo and mediocrity, and living a life that is average and a life that sucks. Many people just describe the day sucks, the job sucks, everything. Because I live that kind of life, just feeling like, no, I feel like there's more to life than what I'm doing. There's more to life than what I have. There's a better place for me than where I am. And I want to find it, and I got into that journey of personal development. And I started seeing that greatness. I didn't know it was greatness that was in me. And the gifts and talents that God has put in me that were crying to be let out. When I knew that, and when I started really exploiting that and seeing the change and transformation, I said, I want to be able to do it, even if for one other person, I want to do it.
Very good. And you're impacting many, many people, not just one person. So what did you start doing when your intuition told you, I have something great in me? What was the first step towards that journey?
I think for me, that's even usually like the voice of God in you telling you, and in any other person who has felt like that, it's usually like really the voice of God. It's God speaking to you that, I have put this in you, and no matter where you are, it cannot be cheated. You cannot be cheated. Nobody can, you cannot be settled in mediocrity. You'll always feel, no, there's a better place for me. So what I started doing is, one thing, I subscribed into coaching. That I got into coaching. I live in Kenya, and at that time, coaching was not a thing, actually. Mm-hmm. Coaching, personal development was not a thing.
Really?
Those are things, yes. It wasn't. Okay. It wasn't a thing. And so it took a lot of, but it made sense to me, when somebody was able to point out that thing that I was feeling is inside of me, that is great, that is huge, that is not average, like the life that I was living. When somebody pointed that to me, I was gonna follow that up to where it takes me until I get it out and I'm able to make impact with it.
So you're a student.
You have to, what they say, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. That's what happened to me.
True.
Yes, that's what happened to me. And I think that's where, my story begins. So you have to go to coaching. And I want to say this, it's only poor people who don't need an accountant. If you can count your, it's true. Like only people, don't need an accountant, because you know your money, where your money is. So you don't need an accountant. But if you know you are rich, and I want to now speak in the sense of you have a lot of wealth inside of you, if you only knew. And if you knew that, then you'd want to get somebody who can help you get it out. You need an accountant. You need to work with coaches and mentors who can be able to help you dig it out and exploit it, because you have a lot of it inside of you. So, yes. So you definitely need to get into coaching and mentorship as well. Those become your accountants, and those are the people who help you to really bring out the best that you have in you.
That is so beautiful. And now you have a coaching, you have a training business. Tell me how did you, now after you sort out the coaches and mentors, is that when you started your business, your coaching business?
I was still in employment. Actually, for me, my journey starts, it was very dramatic for me, because it's, when I realized this is it, this is it. I love doing this. I love speaking to people, inspiring people, I was getting into coaching, and tell my coach, please let me go with you to the companies where you're speaking. Let me carry your briefcase. And I literally would do that.
Okay.
I would do that. And then sometimes it'd give me 5 minutes to do an icebreaker,
Okay.
So I take photos there. Mm-hmm. Yes. So, I make sure somebody is taking photos with me, speaking to people. So, because, it's really building my brand and everything. You jump at any opportunity that you get.
Right.
So at that time, I'm learning a lot from my coaches as well. And I was also, going to where I come from. I come from the mountainous area of Kenya, the Mount Kenya area. So I'd go to the schools there where I went to school.
Yeah.
So I went, my former primary school, I went there, and I happened to, to speak to the candidates there. Okay. And then candidates of the primary school there. And then now I one of the leaders in the community was there and ended up introducing me to so many other schools. They are speaking to the students, and then they also tell me, come and speak to the parents. Now in that platform, I'd build my confidence to speak in public, to be able to develop a message. So through observing my coaches, and also now, going out and speaking, in some of these platforms, I'm still employed at this point.
Yeah, you are still employed at that point.
I'm still employed. I've still not jumped because, it's like, you really have to get to a place where it didn't happen like immediately. Okay. But, the time came when I asked myself, what is still keeping me here? What's still holding me here? And I remember in the company I was working, there used to be these old gentlemen, they were my colleagues, but they were old. They were over 60 years. They were in accounts, and another one was in engineering. Mm-hmm. And I used to see how they used to struggle, with the young bosses like me.
Yes.
Their bosses were young, and I would see how they would harass them, honestly, and say, that's not me at 60. Like every day I woke up and saw them, I'd say, I don't belong here. I don't belong here.
Right. So you were determined. You were determined to take action.
Yes. So I every day I would say that. And also the other thing that really made me jump now, going to how I ended up now saying, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do life coaching. I'm gonna help people be able to find their purpose and potential and identity and all of these things. Was getting invited, because I hosted my company.
Okay.
When I was still in employment. I remember my coach asking me, Sarah, what do you want to do? What do you want to inspire? Since you want to inspire, what do you want to inspire? I said, I want to inspire change.
This is your boss asking you?
No. This is my coach asking me, Sarah, what do you want to inspire?
Okay.
Yes. Well, in the process of the coaching. And I told him I want to inspire change. And I want to speak about change management, because I knew, first of all, my life needs to change. And if I can change my life, I can help other people change. Like, that's just what I knew.
Yeah.
So he told me, he told me two things. One, he told me, Sarah, I'd want you to, how many people do you have on your phone? I said, I have about 2,000, 3,000 people. I was in sales, so you expect to have a lot of, I was in sales. So
you were in sales. Okay, so you had lots of contact.
I had lots of contacts. Yeah. And then, of course, I did a lot. He told me, I just want you to add 100 of those people into a WhatsApp group. And you tell them, and you start sending those inspiring messages about change and about the things that you want to speak about and inspire. Right. And it was not easy, So that's one thing he asked me to do. And I did it, and it was not easy, but I did it. Mm-hmm. Because it's about being able to take instruction and to being obedient. Right. Then number two, and this was the thing now, he asked me, sir, I'd want you to launch a program. Oh. Out of those 2,000 people, I want you to call just 100 of them to a live event. You host a live event and tell them, this is what I'm doing.
Okay.
And it was, imagine.
Your coach. Okay.
Somebody who has never hosted an event. The only events I'd hosted are church events, which you are meaning in the church. So that one, where to get them.
You know them, and you've been with chat with them, so you're kind of comfortable with them. Okay.
Yes. So I went and I hosted the event at Kenyatta International Conference, and it was not easy, but I did it. And at the end of the day, I had almost 300 people, almost 300 people in that hall.
In KICC.
And yes.
Wow. KICC, in Kenyatta International.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, at the KICC. I remember that room was packed, and it was one of the most scary things I ever did. So when I did that, there are many people from companies who came, and they would now see an expert, an expert in change management, and they're inviting me to their company's end of year strategic sessions to go and speak about change management, okay. And I'm invited to go and do that training for 2 days. I can't get leave from my company. And I said, you know what, I think this is it. Yeah. So that is how I ended up jumping from employment. Mm-hmm. Yes. That's basically how I ended up jumping from employment to now starting my own company in capacity building. It was a whole story, yeah.
That's an amazing journey, Sarah. And now you're speaking internationally. I saw you're speaking in India. You're speaking everywhere, Sarah. Just from that, the way you started when you were going to your former schools, right? Before, when you were young and employed, and here you were taking action. You just had that fire, and you were able to take action with it.
Yes, charity begins at home. Charity begins at home, and if you want to impact the world, start by impacting your house. Start by being nice to your sister, to your brother, start from home. That's what I believe. And I've done a lot actually for my county where I come from, the Kirinyaga County. I've done a lot for the youth in the education sector there. Right. And, and that kind of gives me some fulfillment, even when I'm out there, that at least, I'm doing something back home as well. And I want to say when you remain consistent with your story, when you remain consistent with what you do, you start seeing opportunities line up, and people from near and far, start to notice. So consistency is key in this business. If you're going to inspire people, if you're going to, if you're in this industry in capacity building, consistency is key. And yes. So you see people starting to reach out to you. So I've ended up traveling across Africa. I've traveled a lot. And now, of course, in some countries like India.
Yeah, you've been to very many countries in Africa. I think about what, like 40 or something? You've been to...
Oh, no, it's not 40.
I've read somewhere. Countries.
Yes, I do have a youth organization. I started a youth organization because I realized, the skills that I train in the corporates, youth cannot afford them. They need them desperately because they're looking for opportunities, but they can't afford them. So I started a youth organization called Youth in Africa.
Okay.
And Youth in Africa, basically, the main thing is our main mandate is to equip youth with the relevant skills they need in this day and age to be more competitive, to be more independent, to be more resourceful. So whether it is hard or soft skills, and we do so many areas, whether it's on the area of entrepreneurship, STEM, arts, all of those. Yes. And we have presence in all the 54 countries. So yes, we have programs running in all of these countries, but I've not, physically visited all of them. Okay. I've only been maybe to about, them. Yes. Okay. Yes. So work is going on in the countries, but myself, I've not traveled in all the 54 countries, but I know that is something that I will do.
That would be amazing. And what led you to wanting to inspire the youth?
Yes, because one, the youth, if you want to build any nation, start by building the youth. Because the youth have the energy, they have the innovations and the creativity, and also the energy to build the nation, Right. And if you look at Africa, we have a very young, youthful continent, because about 70% of the continent is actually of the population is at 5 years and below.
That's amazing.
Actually, it's 68%, but that's like 70%, really. So you are looking at the youth.
Yes. You're basically just the youth.
Yes. You're looking at the youth and young adults, those are the youth. So if you're developing any nation in Africa and you're not thinking about the youth, you don't know what you're doing.
So true.
Yes, wow. Yes. So, and that's basically how and also if you look at Africa, we looked at what is the main thing, what is the overarching thing, and one challenge for youth across the continent. And we looked and we did our research, and we came out with one thing. It's the skills gap.
The skill, okay.
Yes.
Is it a lack of opportunity to use their skills?
No, not the lack of opportunity. That is there, but that can be handled with a skill, because you see, there are enough problems in Africa. There are as many opportunities as there are problems. You get like every problem, every challenge is an opportunity for business, right?
So true. Yes.
Yes. So the key thing was the skills gap. So this is what happens in Africa. You find youth that they're very educated. They have their degrees and they have their first class, but you go like I've done some as part of my work in one of my companies. I help organizations when they are hiring, So I've sat in so many interview panels, and you ask these young people, tell us about yourself. First of all, somebody cannot even say. They can't even talk. higher. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Even the confidence, how you present yourself, your personal branding, how you're presenting yourself, the confidence you can't find. Yet somebody has a whole first class. And you're wondering, like, there's a problem here, you know? So I kept on seeing that, and now that's why we started looking at the skills gap. So basically what we do in the organization is look at those skills that are not being trained in the in the colleges and in the universities, and we bring them. And then we make sure that every youth has a skill that they can fend, they can at least fend for themselves. Whether it is graphic design, you can design graphics for people, you cannot sleep hungry. Whether it is web design, you can design websites for people, you can't sleep hungry. Whether it is, there are youths who need skills of like the cottage industry, like making soap. So we help so many, even around Kibera, so many youths, how to make soap, how to make jig, how to make, in this day and age, everybody needs soap. So if you can make soap, you can't sleep hungry, you get.
So true. Yeah.
You have a skill where you can be able to fend for yourself. So basically, that's what, that's the main thing that we do at Youth in Africa. And youth that are at different levels. There's one who doesn't need that skill of making beads and making soap and making cakes. They don't need that. They have a business idea. They want somebody who can help them to, on how to present themselves, how to make a business proposal, you see, because that's where they are.
Yes.
There's another, they really don't need that. For them, they need something like a skill on graphic design or social media marketing or something like that. That's what we really help them. You see, others, it's career guidance they need. So there are different levels and you need to meet them where they are.
Where they are.
You know?
Where they are.
Yeah, so we have programs for the young entrepreneurs. We have programs for the young professionals, for students, for pathfinders. You have to really group them like that to really be effective in your work.
That is such an impact that you're making with the youth. And I did not know that our youth, the population is 75% is the youth, is people below the age of 38, you said, right?
Yes, it's 68%, about it's 60-70% in Africa, but in Kenya specifically is 75%.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Wow, you're impacting people, and you found a niche where you're not only impacting corporations, people in corporations, but even the youth. You're thinking of the future, because really the youth is our future. So,
yes.
So that's a very good thing. I am so proud of what you're doing, Sarah. Now,
thank you.
My listeners, you're welcome. My listeners, most of them are professionals actually, and they've suffered with self-doubt, procrastination, perfectionism. These are people who, have a dream, just like you had a dream, but it's so hard for them to take that next step to overcome these limiting beliefs. What can you advise, or what strategies do you have for someone to take that best next step, so that they are, they can do what they were meant to be, what they were created to be?
The self-limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
I think if there is one thing that will really kill your dreams, kill your destiny, is really that. Yeah. It is self. It's those self-limiting beliefs. And for me, it starts with, do you first of all know who you are? And because that's a basic questions, by the way. And I told you in interviews, we ask people, tell us about yourself, and that's where people start mumbling. Yeah. You start mumbling for them. So you just say, my name is Sarah Munyi, I'm an accountant. That's it. Okay.
You're defined by what you do, not
you're like defined by your role, and we forget that that's a role that you have played somewhere. It doesn't really define who you are. That's a role that can be taken from you. If we strip you of all your titles, like, who remains? You get so so first of all, define who you are, because when you know who you are, you know what you deserve. If you don't know who you are, you don't know what you deserve, and you live below your privileges. So it's very important for you to define that. If you know, by the way, the issues of low self-esteem and identity crisis and peer pressure, when you know who you are, it deals with all of those things.
Okay, because you have clarity. You are.
Yes, now you have clarity. When you know who you are, you know what you deserve. Now we can come to the question of, now, what's my purpose? Why am I here? What should I be doing? Mm-hmm. So the other thing I believe we need to ask ourselves very importantly actually is, why am I here? What's my purpose? We really need, even as a professional, you really need to ask yourself that question, so that now you're not just living for a paycheck.
Yeah, true.
You know, you have a purpose. You live for a calling. You understand? It's not a job. And actually, until you have changed that, or until we have changed our jobs to callings,
yes,
we still have a long way to go, because nobody can fire you from your calling.
Nobody can fire you from your calling.
Yes.
And you could even be employed also, but also have, that could be your calling, but you just, maybe you're not very sure. Is this really my calling? And because you could get a lot of fulfillment even from employment, but you have to be very, very sure that that's what you enjoy doing.
Yes, that's the thing. And it should be like that. If you are the people who are very happy, working somewhere because they are in the life of their purpose, in the line of their purpose. Like, you're even wondering, they pay me for this?
Yeah.
I love it. Like, for me, this is fun. I love this. You're like fish in water, and somebody pays you to swim in water. Imagine somebody paying you to swim in water, and that's what you do naturally. Like, it's so nice. So that's fine. You can, but I'm just saying that you just need to make sure that to ask yourself this question: am I in the line of my purpose really, or I feel underutilized or misused, and underused, all of those, When you answer that question very honestly, and that is where you also need coaches. You also need to work with somebody to be able to help you answer those kind of questions.
Agree.
Then when you ask yourself that question, the other question you need to ask yourself is, what do I have? That is, what are my skills, talents, abilities, intellect that I have within me that I can leverage or that I can exploit to be able to help me bring out my execute my mandate or my purpose.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. So skills, abilities, whether acquired or natural, whatever abilities you have or gifts and talents, we need to ask ourselves, and we need to really try and find out, what is it that I have, that I do naturally, that I can really exploit. We really need to get there.
And that's
and once, yes.
And that's where you come in as a coach, and you have you teach. That's how you guide this person towards discovering, what are the gifts that I have, what are the talents that I have, how can I use them, and to be able to be fulfilled with them, right?
Yes, this is where you need a coach. You actually, in this process, by the way, you need to work with a mentor, you need to work with a coach.
Yeah, and I think we all should have mentors and coaches. That's 100%.
Yeah.
I agree that.
Yeah.
I agree to that.
And you know why the soccer players are paid very well? The soccer players, talk about the athletes.
Yeah.
They have managers, they have coaches.
Yes, they have coaches. Yes.
Those people are paid top dollar, premium.
Oh yeah.
You want to produce top dollar, get management.
You do. You only get coaches. That's for sure. Now, tell me, with the youth programs that you do you go to their schools, or do you do them in the summer? I mean, or not the summer, here we in the summer, during school holidays, or do you do them even during the school year?
Our programs are all around the year. We don't look at, what time I told you we deal with we have programs for 4 groups. One, we have young professionals, we have young entrepreneurs. These ones, you get them anytime.
Okay.
Even on a Monday morning, you get them. So these ones, you get them anytime. Yeah. And you see, for us, we look at 35 years. We define youth as ages from 18 to 35. Okay. That's how we define youth. Basically, in Africa, that's how you define youth. 18 to 35, you're a youth. And then if you are like from 12 to 19, to 17 there, you are a young adult. Okay. So that's how we look at it here. So we do have programs for the young adults, and these ones, of course, they are in school. They're the teens, Yeah. They're the teenagers. So they're in schools. We go to schools a lot. We have a whole department where they just concentrate with high schools, and then also We have programs in universities as well. So we go to universities. We go everywhere the youth are. They have youth programs. I mean, youth small associations in the communities. We partner with them and do programs with them. Whether it's the churches, we go wherever they are. There's nowhere we have not done an event, a youth event, I think, in this continent. We go where they are, in the villages where they are. We have meetings with them. We go like in a village and organize. We organize, we mobilize, they come together because we know how to get them, you know. They come together and we have our programs. So basically, it's just where they are.
And what is the turnout? I'm sure it's good. The turnout.
It depends. The turnout depends with, first of all, what's the scale? What do we really want to do? What's the program about? Is this a program for everyone, or we are targeting youth in agriculture? Maybe it's a program on agriculture, it's a program on mining. So we go to mining areas where there are some mining activities taking place, you know. Then, so it really depends with the kind of program that we have. There are those ones that we do like everybody can come.
Yes.
And those ones are huge, you know. Okay. Those ones are where everyone can come, and especially if it's free, they are not paying anything. Because there are those ones that, there are others that usually charge a little bit just for commitment, but the ones like are free, you know, we will have the youth, they will come, they will come. But now it depends with the program we have, you know. If it's like a long program, like a 6 months program we have, and we meet once a week, you know, or once in 2 weeks, then maybe there are smaller groups like that. It really depends with the purpose of the program.
And what's the success rate that you have seen with the youth? What's the transformation?
Well, you know, when you have basically it happens everywhere. When you have a smaller team like of 30 people and you have a program of about like 4 months or so, you are able to have physical contact and engagement with the student or with them, then, and you are also able to monitor them for a period of time, then, you know, the impact is more, you know.
Yes.
You can be able to see more impact. Now, these ones that we do once in a while, just once in a while, they are good because they get the information. But in terms of transformation is a process. So you may not be able to measure the impact as much. But the ones where you've done a whole program and then at the end of it, you can see the progress, then they're more impactful. That's why we always, you know, concentrating on programs. But programs, you can't have everyone in a program.
No, you can't. No,
it's always specific. It has to always be specific.
Sarah, you're doing such a beautiful work, not just in Kenya, in Africa, and actually even outside Africa, in India, in other places in the world. Now, any parting shot, because I could talk to you all day long. I could talk to you anything that you would like to talk to my listeners in terms of taking action, in terms of overcoming limiting beliefs and self-doubt, and just going out there the way you did when you were very young and went out there and you put yourself out there, and here you are, you know, impacting many, many, many people.
Yes, I want to say that things get better when you get better. You don't expect things to get better. You want to demand more from life, and you're not demanding more from yourself. You want to demand more from life, demand more of yourself. And also it's important to know that your dreams are not cheap. They have a price to pay for. And so you have to be willing to pay the price, really. So in paying the price, there are so many things that happen. There are people that you leave behind. There are things that you leave behind because, you know, they drag you down. And we need to be willing to do that. We need to be willing to make hard decisions, you know, hurtful decisions for you to be able to focus and go for the thing that you want. So, and I also want to say that there is it doesn't matter the level of success that you have. I think I said this in the beginning. There's always a better place for you. Today, you may be employed, you're a professional, you're earning good money, you're taking care of your family, and you think that that's okay. I want to tell you, there's always a better place for you. There's always more that you can do, even for yourself to become better, because I believe we all want to get to a place of greatness, but there's no end to greatness. Right. So we always need to strive to get better. How do I work more on my emotions, you know, on my anger? Maybe that's something that you're dealing with. On my patience, how do I, you know, become better in this area? How do I form better relationships, more healthier relationships. We are all a work in progress, and we need to make sure that one day, each day, I have made a step. Each day I can forgive better. Each day I'm more patient. I'm building more patience. Each day I am pushing to my dreams. We are all a work in progress. And if we can keep pushing and also seek the right help that we need, I think that is where we move. That's how we move, and that's how we end up becoming, hitting those great milestones in life and making the kind of impact that's needed in the world. The world needs you. Please, we are waiting for you. Get better so that everything else gets better.
Oh, wow. That's I love that. Now, before we go, where can my listeners find you?
So I'm on Facebook. My Facebook page is Sarah Munyi, the life coach. Please, you'll just see my face. Please follow, subscribe, engage me. I'm happy to engage with you as well. I post a lot of life-giving insights. Or I have a YouTube channel called Sarah Munyi Business and Life Coach. I post a lot of videos with great insights. I'm sure that will be help to you. You can subscribe to my channel as well. I'm also on Instagram, Sarah_Munyi. You just see my face. You can follow, and I'm also on TikTok, Sarah_Munyi. I'm on, what's the name of this new one? Threads.
It's a new one. Sarah, you have to tell me about the new one. I don't know about it.
Hey, wait.
I'm so happy to talk to you.
Okay. I think Mark Zuckerberg needs to pay me for this one. So Instagram has come up with a Twitter version of Instagram. It's called Threads.
Threads. Okay. Yes. I will be subscribing to Threads.
Yes, you need to jump into the Threads wagon. So I'm on Threads at Sarah_Munyi, Twitter, Sarah Munyi Business, Sarah Munyi, the life coach. Basically, and LinkedIn. Oh, I'm huge on LinkedIn. I'm huge on LinkedIn, Sarah Munyi, FIIM. I think you'll just see my face. Please feel free to connect, and I'll be very, very happy to engage with you. Thank you very much. And thank you, Wambui, for hosting me. I've really, really appreciated this.
I've enjoyed having you at my show. I'm going to bring you back because I can tell you have so much that you can give to, you're giving to us and to the world. So I will bring you back again. I really thank you, Sarah. Thanks for making the time to be on my show. I appreciate you so much, and all the best with what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
So there you have it. I hope this episode inspired you as much as it did to me. My biggest takeaway is that there's no end to greatness, and that each day we should strive to get better. The world is waiting for you, so keep pushing. Hey, if you enjoyed today's episode, please take time to review and rate it. It's the fastest and easiest way to say thank you for creating this content. Until next time, keep thriving. I cannot wait to see you next week. Take care now.